Hey guys, and welcome back to Smoky Mountain Off-Grid. Preparing for an electromagnetic pulse EMP attack is a consideration due to the potential for significant and widespread disruptions it could cause. While the likelihood of a large-scale EMP event is a subject of debate, the potential consequences are serious enough to warrant attention. Here are several reasons why preparation for an EMP attack is deemed important. Critical infrastructure vulnerability. Modern societies heavily depend on electronic and electrical systems for essential services such as power generation, communication, transportation, and healthcare. An EMP could disrupt or damage these critical infrastructures, leading to cascading effects. National security concerns. The potential for adversaries to use EMPs as a strategic weapon raises national security concerns. An EMP attack has the potential to disable or cripple a nation's electronic systems, giving a significant advantage to those launching the attack. Technological dependency. Societies have become increasingly dependent on technology in everyday life. From communication to finance to healthcare, electronic systems play a central role. Preparing for an EMP event involves acknowledging this dependency and developing strategies to mitigate the risks. We will be put right back into the 1800s. Economic impact. The economic impact of an EMP attack could be severe. Disruptions to power grids, communication networks, and financial systems could lead to a breakdown in economic activities, affecting businesses, industries, and employment. Most likely our solar system will be fried as well as the other people who have them. ATM machines will not work and credit or debit cards will be nothing more than window scrapers. Humanitarian concerns. An EMP event could result in significant humanitarian challenges. Disruptions to healthcare, water supply, and transportation could impact public health and safety. Preparedness measures aim to minimize these potential risks. Experts have openly said that in such an event that 9 out of 10 people would most likely cease to exist. Stores will not be open to get food or supplies. There will be no medicines available, and when you turn on the faucet, there will not be any clean drinking water. Waste will be a major concern because toilets won't flush and your trash will just continue to pile up until it's a major health concern. Strategic defense. As part of national defense strategies, countries may invest in preparedness measures to mitigate the impact of EMP attacks. This could involve hardening critical infrastructure, developing alternative communication methods, and ensuring continuity of essential services. But to the best of my knowledge, we don't have any defense against a weapon like this, especially if it's fired on a hypersonic missile like the ones in China or Russia. They will be moving so fast that they won't be detected in time. Preventive measures. Preparing for an EMP attack involves implementing preventive measures to minimize vulnerabilities. This includes the development of technologies that can withstand EMP effects, establishing redundancy in critical systems, and creating backup plans. Have enough food and water stored to last as long as possible. Public awareness and education. Raising public awareness about the potential risks of EMP events is an essential component of preparation. Educating individuals and communities about the importance of preparedness encourages a more resilient society. Global interconnectedness. The interconnectedness of global systems means that an EMP event in one region could have ripple effects across borders. International cooperation in preparedness and prevention efforts becomes crucial in addressing this global risk. Potential for natural EMP events. While much of the concern around EMPs is related to deliberate attacks, natural events such as solar flares can also produce EMPs. Preparing for such natural events involves monitoring and understanding space weather. In summary, preparing for an EMP attack is a multifaceted approach aimed at minimizing vulnerabilities, protecting critical infrastructure, and ensuring the resilience of societies in the face of potential disruptions. While the likelihood of such an event remains uncertain, the potential consequences underscore the importance of proactive measures to enhance preparedness and response capabilities. I hope you find this video and information helpful to you or your families, and understand the importance of preparing for anything and everything, because no one will be there to rescue you or be willing to take care of you until hopefully the country stabilizes again. An electromagnetic pulse EMP weapon is a device designed to generate a pulse of electromagnetic radiation with the intention of disrupting, damaging, or destroying electronic systems. EMP weapons can be broadly classified into two categories: nuclear and non-nuclear. Nuclear EMP (NEMP). Nuclear EMPs are generated by the detonation of a nuclear weapon at high altitudes in the Earth's atmosphere. The explosion releases intense bursts of gamma rays, which interact with the Earth's atmosphere to create a pulse of electromagnetic energy. An EMP is often divided into three components: E1 early time component. This is the fastest pulse, occurring within nanoseconds. It can cause damage to or destruction of electronic devices, particularly those with microchips and semiconductors. E2 intermediate time component, similar to the effects of a lightning strike. The E2 component affects power lines and can induce currents in long conductors. E3 late time component. This slower pulse can induce long-term currents in power lines and cause damage to transformers and other large electrical equipment. Non-nuclear EMP and NEMP, non-nuclear EMP weapons, also known as radio frequency or high-power microwave weapons, generate EMPs without the use of nuclear explosives. These devices produce EMPs through the rapid discharge of high-powered microwave generators. NEMP weapons are designed to target and disrupt electronic systems, similar to the effects of a nuclear EMP, but without the associated nuclear detonation. Characteristics of EMP weapons: speed of deployment. EMP weapons can operate at high speeds, delivering their electromagnetic pulses in extremely short time frames. Area of effect. The area of effect for EMP weapons can vary, depending on factors such as the altitude of detonation, the power of the weapon, and atmospheric conditions. Target specificity. EMP weapons are designed to be highly targeted, aiming at specific electronic systems. This precision allows for strategic use against critical infrastructure and military assets. Versatility. EMP weapons can be deployed in various ways, including through aerial platforms, missiles, or ground-based systems. Intended effects: disruption of electronics. The primary goal of EMP weapons is to disrupt, damage, or destroy electronic systems, including communication systems, power grids, computer networks, and military equipment. Strategic impact. EMP weapons are considered strategic weapons due to their potential to incapacitate a nation's critical infrastructure, military capabilities, and communication networks. It's important to note that the use of EMP weapons is a topic of international concern, and discussions around their potential use and countermeasures involve considerations of national security and global stability. The development and deployment of EMP weapons are subject to international agreements and treaties. As of my last knowledge update in January 2022, several countries are known to have the technological capabilities to develop or possess electromagnetic pulse EMP technology. It's important to note that information about a country's specific capabilities in this area may not be publicly disclosed due to security reasons. Here are some countries that are generally recognized to have advanced technological capabilities, which could potentially include EMP technology. United States. The U.S. has advanced military and technological infrastructure, and it is likely to possess sophisticated electronic warfare capabilities, including EMP technology. Russia. Russia is known to have a history of developing advanced military technologies, including electronic warfare capabilities. China. China has been investing significantly in its military modernization efforts, and it is often considered a major player in electronic warfare technologies. North Korea. North Korea has claimed to possess EMP technology and has conducted nuclear tests. However, the specifics of its capabilities are often a subject of debate and speculation. Israel. Israel is known to have a highly advanced military and technological sector. While specific details about its EMP capabilities may not be publicly available, it is considered a technologically advanced nation. Iran. Iran has expressed interest in developing its military capabilities, including electronic warfare. Specific details about its EMP capabilities may not be publicly disclosed. United Kingdom. The UK, as a major military power, is likely to have advanced electronic warfare capabilities. However, specific information about EMP technology may be limited. The moments leading up to an electromagnetic pulse EMP attack would be characterized by a series of strategic and technical decisions made by those initiating the attack. Keep in mind that an EMP attack, particularly a large-scale one, is a major concern, and the likelihood of such an event is growing more and more every day. However, if we were to envision such a scenario, here's a speculative description of the moments leading up to an EMP attack. Strategic decision-making, strategic intent. The decision to launch an EMP attack would likely be driven by strategic intent. This could involve a nation or group seeking to disable the electronic systems of an adversary, gain a military advantage, or cause widespread disruption and to cause mass casualties. Military planning. Military planners would develop a strategy for the EMP attack, considering factors such as the altitude of detonation, the scale of the attack, and the intended targets. They would also evaluate potential countermeasures and responses from the target. Technical preparation, weapon selection. If the EMP attack is nuclear-based, the selection of an appropriate nuclear weapon would be crucial. The size and altitude of the detonation would be chosen to maximize the EMP effects over the target area. Delivery system. Selecting the delivery system for the EMP weapon is a critical decision. This could involve ballistic missiles, satellites, or other delivery platforms capable of reaching the desired altitude. Coordination of timing. Coordination of the timing of the attack is essential for its success. Factors such as the position of satellites, the trajectory of missiles, and the synchronization of multiple detonations would be considered. Intelligence and surveillance. Target identification, detailed intelligence, would be gathered to identify key targets for the EMP attack. This could include critical infrastructure, military installations, and communication hubs. Assessment of defenses. The attackers would assess the target's defenses, including any measures in place to mitigate the effects of EMPs. Strategies may be devised to overcome or bypass these defenses. Deployment. Launch preparations. In the moments leading up to the attack, military forces would undergo launch preparations. Missiles may be fueled, satellites positioned, and other necessary logistics arranged. Command and control. Command and control centers would oversee the deployment, ensuring that the EMP attack is carried out according to the strategic plan. Political considerations. Decision authorization. Authorization for the attack would likely come from the highest levels of political leadership. Considerations would include the geopolitical ramifications, potential retaliation, and the impact on global stability. Deniability versus attribution. Some actors may seek to carry out an EMP attack with a degree of deniability, making it challenging for the target to attribute the attack to a specific entity. Others might use the attack as a clear display of force. International response. Anticipation of response. Attackers would anticipate and prepare for the potential responses from the targeted nation and the international community. This could include diplomatic, economic, or military countermeasures. Preparation for escalation. The potential for an EMP attack to escalate into a larger conflict would be considered, and strategic planners would factor this into their decision-making. It's important to emphasize that the use of EMPs as weapons is a complex and controversial topic. International norms and agreements, including those related to arms control and non-proliferation, play a significant role in shaping the behavior of nations in the geopolitical landscape. In the aftermath of an electromagnetic pulse EMP attack, the police and military would face significant challenges and would need to adapt their strategies to cope with the disruptions caused by the loss of electronic systems. Here are some potential considerations. Challenges for police. Communication breakdown. Law enforcement heavily relies on electronic communication systems. With the disruption of radios, phones, and computer systems, police officers may struggle to coordinate responses and share information. Limited mobility. Police vehicles with electronic ignition systems may be rendered inoperable. The ability to respond quickly and cover large areas could be compromised. Security concerns. The breakdown of electronic security systems could lead to increased security concerns. Maintaining order and preventing criminal activities would be challenging. Community engagement. Establishing communication with the community becomes vital. Community policing and building trust may become even more critical in this scenario. Resource shortages. Limited access to electronic databases could hinder investigations. Traditional investigative methods and community collaboration may be emphasized. Shift to manual processes. Police departments would need to shift to manual record-keeping, reporting, and patrolling methods, emphasizing more traditional policing approaches. Challenges for the military. Communication and command systems. Military operations heavily depend on advanced communication and command systems. The loss of these systems could impact the ability to coordinate maneuvers and respond to threats effectively. Logistical disruptions. Military logistics involve complex electronic systems. For supply chain management, transportation, and coordination, disruptions to these systems could hinder the movement of troops and supplies. Intelligence gathering. The loss of electronic surveillance and intelligence systems could impact the military's ability to gather timely and accurate information about potential threats. Cybersecurity risks. With the breakdown of electronic security measures, the military may face increased cybersecurity risks. Protecting sensitive information and preventing unauthorized access becomes crucial. Strategic adaptation. Military strategies may need to adapt to the loss of high-tech capabilities. Emphasis on traditional warfare tactics and decentralized operations could become more prominent. Humanitarian assistance. The military may be called upon to provide humanitarian assistance in addition to traditional defense roles. This could include supporting communities with logistics, medical aid, and security, mitigation and adaptation, preparedness measures, prior training and exercises for scenarios involving communication breakdowns, and electronic disruptions would be crucial for both police and military personnel. Use of non-electronic equipment. Investing in and training personnel to use non-electronic equipment, such as analog communication devices and manual navigation tools, becomes important. Community collaboration. Both police and military entities may need to collaborate more closely with communities for information sharing, security, and support. Alternative energy sources. Exploring and implementing alternative energy sources for communication and surveillance systems could be a priority. Strategic redundancies. Implementing redundant systems and creating backup plans for essential electronic functions would be a critical aspect of preparedness. In summary, an EMP attack would pose substantial challenges for both police and military operations. Effective response would require a combination of strategic planning, training, and the development of alternative, non-electronic approaches to maintain security and order. Preparedness and adaptability would be key in navigating the complexities of a post-EMP environment. The aftermath of an electromagnetic pulse EMP attack would be a complex and challenging scenario. While the specifics would depend on the scale of the attack, the altitude of the detonation, and the preparedness of affected systems, there are some general expectations. Power outages. The most immediate and widespread impact would be power outages. EMPs can disrupt or damage electrical grids, leading to the loss of electricity on a large scale. Communication breakdown. Electronic communication systems, including the internet, phone networks, and broadcasting, would likely be severely disrupted. This could hinder the ability to communicate, coordinate responses, and access information. Transportation disruptions. Modern transportation systems heavily rely on electronic components. An EMP could disable vehicles with electronic ignition systems, disrupt air traffic control systems, and render electronic navigation devices inoperable. Supply chain disruptions. The disruption of electronic systems could impact supply chains for goods and services. This could lead to shortages of essential items, including food, water, and medical supplies. Emergency services challenges. Emergency services, including hospitals, law enforcement, and first responders, would face challenges in communication, coordination, and providing services. Backup systems and manual procedures may need to be implemented. Social unrest and anxiety. The combination of prolonged power outages, communication breakdowns, and disruptions to essential services could lead to social unrest and anxiety. People may be uncertain about the extent of the damage and the duration of the crisis. Government response. Governments would mobilize emergency response efforts, but the effectiveness of these efforts would depend on the level of preparedness and the ability to coordinate across various agencies. The military and National Guard might be deployed to assist in maintaining order and providing support. Humanitarian needs. Humanitarian needs would likely increase as individuals and communities grapple with the aftermath. Emergency shelters, medical assistance, and food distribution may become priorities. Security concerns. The breakdown of electronic security systems could lead to increased concerns about public safety. Law enforcement agencies may face challenges in maintaining order, and there could be an uptick in criminal activity. Community support and cooperation. In the face of adversity, communities may come together to provide mutual support and assistance. Cooperation and resource sharing could become critical for survival. Search for information. People would likely seek information about the situation, potential government responses, and guidance on how to cope with the aftermath. Traditional forms of media, such as radio, may become essential sources of information. It's important to emphasize that the aftermath of an EMP attack is a hypothetical scenario, and the level of impact and the effectiveness of responses would depend on a wide range of factors. Preparing for such an event involves a combination of personal, community, and governmental efforts to enhance resilience and response capabilities.